Hey, what's happening? Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Let me just get right into it. All right. Everybody has their own forte, their own their own wheelhouse, what they've experienced, something they have a little more knowledge than the average person. Something they spend a little more experience. It's something they're more experienced in. For instance, I've often talked about how Bo the Fifth Column, how I just don't feel comfortable talking about military tactics. I don't feel comfortable talking about police tactics. I don't know a lot about them. I just know what I've seen in movies and TV. So I just don't feel comfortable coming, getting in front of a camera and pretending like I know something I really don't know more than the average guy about. But drug use, I know about. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I'm not bragging here. I want to take the mistakes I've made. I spent over 25 years of my life using cocaine, crack, pills, heroin, every single day. I think honestly, deep down, I think the reason that I'm still here, because the way I treated myself, my body, I shouldn't still be here. And I think the reason I'm still here is to give my learned experience to other people, to help other people get clean, stay away from drugs, to help people through my experience. Take lemons and make lemonade, if you want to call it that. All right, what am I talking about? Madison Cawthorne popped up on my radar recently. Honestly, I don't think this guy, I don't talk about him all that much because he's a kid. He's 26 years old. I'm 56. This guy's more than half my age, or less than half my age. Honestly, I don't think he belongs in any form of government. Honestly, I think a job better suited to Madison Cawthorne would be like a junior salesman at a used car lot. Seriously, that does sound like a good job for him. So just recently, he came out. He said something recently. Now, he was talking about he's a Republican, or no, he's a Trumper. I believe this was what he said was a dig at older Republicans or rhinos. I think that's where he was aiming this, what he was trying to... He recently came out with some pretty fantastical, damaging claims about people in his own party. Apparently, he's caught a lot of hell for this. He just had a meeting with McCarthy. And I read this one article that shows that he came out of there with a black eye. I don't think I quite believe this yet. Seriously, there's a picture of Madison Cawthorne with a black eye. And then McCarthy standing behind him. And it looks like McCarthy was crying. I'm not buying this. That's not what this video is about. I have to do a lot more research into that. But anyway, people in the Republican Party are upset with Madison Cawthorne because of these recent statements. He came out and basically he said something along the lines of he's been asked by older members, apparently, to me it sounded like he was saying flabby, unappealing, older rhinos. I think that, to me, that's the gist of what he was saying. He was invited to sexual gatherings, or better known as maybe orgies. So that's what he's saying about his own party. He's saying this about his own party, people in his own party. So obviously he's gotten himself into some hot water. But that's not what this video is about. Specifically, he said something else. He said he talked about seeing people in his own party right in front of him doing cocaine. Now, interestingly enough, in the last couple of days, he's walked back this statement. I think he's even admitted that he exaggerated, that he didn't quite see people doing cocaine right in front of him. It was maybe 100 yards across the parking lot. I don't believe this. I'm going to tell you guys, this is the exact statement that stuck out to me. He said something along the lines of people doing key bumps of cocaine in front of him. Bam, man. That was almost a freaking trigger for me. Seriously. That term, to be honest with you guys, I haven't heard the two terms really put together like that, key bump. I know exactly what he's talking about. The only time I've heard this phrase or these two words, like using a key or key bump or bump, is when I was using cocaine. I've never seen it in a movie. I've never heard anybody that wasn't using drugs use this phrase. I've never heard it like when I was in rehabs and detoxes. I've never heard the nurses or doctors or any of them, anybody who wasn't specifically using cocaine. I've never heard anybody else other than users use those words. And that just set off a bell for me. All right, key bump. Maybe you guys could figure it out. A bump is a blast, a line, a single serving of cocaine, if you will. Back in the 70s, before I started using, I believe they used a lot of people left a long fingernail so they could scoop it up. So you have your illegal contents in a little container, and you'd get yourself a single serving. You probably heard songs about silver spoons. That's what they're talking about, very small silver spoons. That's exactly what Madison Cawthorne is referring to, a key bump. Using one of your car keys, your house keys, to dip in and use it like a small spoon. And just specifically though, the word bump, I've been out of the drug culture, drug game. I've been completely out for 15 years. Other than I still talk a lot to people that are still using, going to NA meetings and stuff like that. But actually dealing in the drug world, I'm out of that. So, but that phrase set off an alarm for me. The term key bump, those are, to me, the only person that would use that, and the way he used it, the way he sounded using that, to me, that says that he has been around people using cocaine, or he used it. I immediately would assume, if I heard somebody say that, I would immediately have a 99% surety that this person had used cocaine in the past. So he's walked this back. Madison Cawthorne has walked this back over the last couple of days now, because he's gotten in a lot of trouble for it. Saying that, it's 100 yards across the parking lot. Man, you don't see somebody doing a key bump, and I would assume, but you, a lot of times, let me fill you guys in, you don't usually do it in open air. If you saw it across a parking lot, the person most likely to be inside a car. You can't, because it's a powder, and just even a low 2 mile, 5 mile an hour wind or breeze will scatter a very expensive substance. People do not usually do it in the open air. So this whole thing about seeing it across a parking lot, that's not the truth. The truth was that he was in very close, extremely close contact with people that regularly use cocaine. That term key bump, or bump in particular, is used, in my experience, solely by people that abuse the drug. So, that just set off alarms for me. That's just my personal opinion. I think he's been all too close to the substance himself. And if he's saying he was exaggerating now, he's lying. That's my opinion. I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a great Thursday.